Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at Curtis Jones, the young player for Wonderkid Watch. A player that has started to play a lot more often for Liverpool in central midfield, as well as a bit more attacking as well. 19 years of age, played 6 games and scored 1 goal last year, but certainly continue to play a bit more this season, especially with their kind of injury worries that they've had. So it'll be interesting to see how he develops, how he performs, and kind of what progression he makes, if he does make any England appearances, and how that goes for him. So we'll jump ahead 5 years, see where he's at and how that's gone. Alright, so off to Porto he's gone. 1 cap for England he's made so far. He's very well rounded, so I'm certainly a player you could play in most positions. A very Milner type player. Marking, tackling, all looking like they could improve as well. At 6'1", £30 million value at £63,000 a week. He made a lot of loan moves after playing a couple of games for Liverpool, but not shining too bright. With loan moves to Newcastle, Wolves, Leeds, and Brighton, all in the Premier League, playing more and more each season. Then made a big £24 million move to Porto. Did very well in his first season, scoring 12 goals, getting 17 assists and a 7.94 rating. So did very, very well there. And this year he's already performed very well for them as well. So certainly a player that looks like he's could perform at Porto. We'll jump another 5, see where he's at there, and if he's continued that kind of run of form in Portugal. So France is his next place of work. So Olympique Lyonnais is the team. 6 caps and 1 goal for England now. So he's made a few more appearances. Still looking very well rounded. Heading defensive stats aren't amazing, and his aerial stats aren't perfect, and mentals could be a bit better, but still very well rounded overall. £105,000 a week for his work. Let's take a look at kind of where he went. So he went for 42 million to Man City. Looks like they paid a lot of money for a player that didn't perform for them, but Lyon were happy to take him off their hands for 30 million and has done all right for them since then. So it looks like he really did perform very well in Portugal, and that's kind of what caught the eye of Man City, but wasn't quite able to replicate that in the Premier League, which he seems to have had an issue with previously a little bit. Moving to France, he has improved again, back to a bit more of a stability, but again, not performing fantastically, maybe due to where he's been played on the pitch. Stats-wise, not biography, we want the history. He has won a few competitions, so he did win the Premier League with Liverpool initially. Portuguese Super Cup winners, a bunch of Portuguese competition wins for Porto over a few years as well, and won the International League with England as well, making also some competition wins with Man City during the kind of year he was there. 4 wins with the Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League and Carabao Cup all in there, and then has won the Euro Cup too with Lyon in his first season. So still a player that can work very well and hard in a team. We'll jump another 5, see if he's still going or if he's retired and kind of where that is. Wow, okay, so Curtis Jones has moved on to Santa Clara. So I believe that's back in Portugal. Interesting to see. Stats obviously decreased now at the age of 34, so not expecting too much from him. Has made a few more appearances for England as well, which is a bit of a surprise. Still very well rounded though. He did rise to 40 million, that price moved to Lyon. So Man City did make a lot of their money back in the end. Still performed very well for Lyon over those years. Did start to drop off, so that's when he made his £1.4 million move to Santa Clara. Which again, he still performed very well for them in the Premier League in Portugal. But it's interesting to see he's moved around nations quite a bit. It's not always the case when it comes to English players, but it seems like, especially in real life as well, that players are becoming more and more happy to leave England to get football and to kind of get trophies and compete at the highest level. So it's certainly interesting to see. 34 years of age. Has he won any further competitions? Doesn't look like it. He obviously won the Euro Cup 2 with Lyon when we last saw, but nothing new there. So interesting to see. We'll have to jump ahead, see if he has retired, where he's at and what's gone on there. So Curtis Jones has retired and become an assistant manager. Like most times, it's not the most amazing, but decent motivating and adaptability and determination. Working with youngsters isn't too bad with a National B licence as well. So certainly someone you could look to bring in if you were a bit short on staff. Does look like he did move to Wolfsburg as well after a year or two with Santa Clara. Didn't do too well the year after, but performed okay for Wolfsburg in Bundesliga 2 as well. So they had dropped down, moved there for a free transfer. But interesting to see, certainly, how he's done there. Let's take a look at records. So he did end up winning 18 competitions overall in his career. Is there any new ones from that? Doesn't look like it. It was during his kind of previous time at Man City and Porto, where he really won stuff, getting a win as well at the Europa Cup 2 in Lyon. But a player that's certainly well-rounded, certainly a player that can do a job for you. I wouldn't say he's necessarily going to be winning you Champions Leagues, but a player that can definitely be backup for those players that will do that and can come in and do a job if needed. 100%. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. If you did, like, subscribe and all that good stuff, and I will catch you next time.